Good evening, everyone. I call this meeting to order. Welcome to the annual meeting for the school year of 2025-2026. If you'll all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll entertain nominations to elect a chairperson for the annual meeting. Jenny?
Jenny Greasy-Land, 1783 South St. Augustine Street, Pulaski. I nominate Amy Dillenberg.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, Amy Dillenberg is elected chairperson for the meeting. Take it over, Amy.
I'm pleased to serve the school district in the capacity of chairperson of this annual meeting. My goal is to facilitate the transaction of necessary items of business while integrating, in a reasonable way, audience participation. The meeting will be conducted in compliance with the following general information and ground rules. Robert's Rules of Order will be observed to facilitate the orderly conduct of business. The chairperson reserves the right to limit debate and to limit speakers to given time limits on various subjects. The chairperson will call for voice votes on motions and may, at the chairperson's discretion, call for a show of hands or other balloting method. When making a motion or seconding a motion, please state your name and address for record purposes. Discussion will be limited to the motion being considered. We'll begin with a few words from our superintendent, Allison Space.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for our budget hearing and annual meeting. It is my privilege to serve as your superintendent to share an update on the work of the Pulaski Community School District. Just a moment to take of celebrating who we are. As a community, it's not just in our name, it's who we are. We are learners, educators, neighbors, working together to remain future focused and student-centered. That partnership is what makes Pulaski Community School District strong. Just a few highlights from our past year. If you need an annual meeting booklet or use our QR code, I just wanted to highlight a few things that we have inside. I'm very proud to report that PCSD continues to shine. We were once again earned the exceeds expectation rating on our state report card. Our graduation rate stands at 95%, and our students this past year earned more than $1.7 million in scholarships and over 4,000 college credits, saving families more than $700,000 in tuition. Beyond our academics, our students are deeply engaged with strong participation in athletics, clubs, fine arts, youth apprenticeships, and they're building skills that prepare them for the life beyond graduation. And as all of you know, this fall we celebrated the completion of Hillcrest and Sunnyside projects. We finished on time and under budget. These schools now provide bright, modern spaces that will serve our students for generations to come. In stewardship and care, we continue to invest in what matters most, our people. PCSD directs more in its budget toward instruction than the state average while keeping costs per pupil lower than most districts. That means strong outcomes and responsible use of our taxpayer dollars. At the same time, we remain committed to safety and wellness through school resource officers, the Speak Up, Speak Out system, nutritious meals, and wellness that is supporting that. Healthy and safe students are ready to learn. And looking ahead to our future, while we celebrate the completed projects, we also look forward. In the coming year, we will continue our conversations around a long-term facility roadmap, and these discussions will invite our community to plan with us about what the future of PCSD should look like, ensuring that our buildings continue to meet the needs of our students, staff, and families. Please see that we also provided a flyer for you this evening for our first engagement session, which will happen on October 2nd at the middle school. And in closing, I just want to take a moment to say that together we've achieved much already, and together we will plan for what's coming next. I look forward to continuing the Raver Strong work for our schools with all of you, and we all appreciate your dedication, your involvement, and your steadfast support of public education. Thank you.
We'll move to the presentation of the budget by Director of Business Services, Mark Logan.
Thanks. So along with Ali's statement, I just like to start with our mission. It's easy for me, especially for me, to get kind of lost in the numbers of the budget and all the approvals we have to go through. But again, these numbers represent our mission of ensuring high levels of learning for all students. So with that, an overview of the budget. So if you have the budget booklet, detailed budget is in there, pages 10 to 13. Budget process has been going back to February. It gets approved by the board multiple times. We work within our departments and our schools to make sure it's the appropriate budget. And then this is kind of the taxpayer portion and the community aspect where it gets published out for approval. So the process continues through October when the board will adopt a final budget and set the tax levy. Looking at our budget variables, so our main budget is set by the state's revenue limit. If you're not familiar with a revenue limit, it sets an amount. It's a formula that a district can levy upon its community. It's based on resident membership. So our revenue limit is just over $50 million. That calculation is $11,748 per member, and we have an estimated membership to be determined by Friday's count. So the district doesn't know what our final revenue limit is. That's an estimate at this time. State also provides certain exemptions in that revenue limit. Our three main ones are our year 3 of 5 of our operating referendum, any voucher program payments that run through our revenue limit, and then a few years left of energy efficiency project debt. So of that revenue limit, there's a little portion that goes above. So our total revenues in this budget are $56.7 million. Two main components of that is state aid of just about $35 million. The formula is you take your revenue limit, you take what the state gives, and then the balance of that is what can be levied upon your local property tax. This year we have a balanced budget that we're bringing forth. So on the expenditure side, equal $56.7 million. Main component of our budget is our staff. So people we put for our kids along with our ancillary services is 80% of our budget. So increase in cost in that was a 3% wage increase across the board for all staff. And then we have an estimated benefit increase of 4 to 6% to be determined by actual performance this year. In this year's budget, we were able to add 6 professional education staff positions. So to maintain a balanced budget and to put the appropriate staff in front of our kids is a great success. Moving to special ed was highly talked about in the state budget and increased funding. So we were able to offset an increase in expense, which is mostly people as well as any services provided. We were able to decrease the required transfer from the general fund due to that increase in funding. Looking at some of our other funds, so our debt service any payment towards debt runs through here. $7.7 million in revenue coming in. Largest portion of that would be on the tax levy. A portion of that is referendum debt for our recently completed projects. We have, like I said, 2 years left of energy exemption debt, and then some smaller amounts for remaining Field of Dreams debt. Same thing, the expense on that side is those ongoing payments. Touching on any other funds, we were able to reestablish our capital project funds. That's our ongoing maintenance and simpler projects, not any major renovations to buildings, but upkeep of buildings. Along with that, we have a planned transfer to our capital improvement fund. You'll see that capital projects is referendum construction, that mostly being completed. That $10 million in expense really occurred from July until today. And then our food service fund has a balanced revenue expense in $2.2 million. Last fund is our community fund, so we lay out what portion we break down the levy for any community services. What shows on here is the difference between the levy and the total revenue is user fees. So if you take, for example, if you look at our community pool, that difference between total revenue would be revenue generated directly by it. So there are programs that are break even, our youth football, our before and after care, all community ed classes, base setters that are our senior travel group, and piano lessons, they're all break even. So we list them on here, but there is no tax levy for those programs. When you take all of those funds combined, you get our total proposed tax levy, so $22.4 million. Everything on the left-hand side is within our revenue limit. Everything on the right-hand side is outside the revenue limit. So those programs that are either prior approved by taxpayers or approved tonight would be outside of that revenue limit. So it comes to that 22 million. What does that look for a mill rate? So you take that tax levy, you take it by all the property value of the school district, which is 3.2 billion, and you get a mill rate of 6.94, which is equal to last year's mill rate. So being able to keep our tax rate flat from the prior year. How does that look against the state? Last year we were able to drop below the state average. State average is unknown because other districts have not set theirs, but based on this, I would assume that we are going to continue to be below the state average once again, and again, keeping that continued decline or even in our mill rate. If there's any questions on the budget, now I can answer, otherwise I can answer individually during discussion on any resolution.
As directed in section 65.9, part 4 of the state statutes, a public hearing shall be held, the time and place stipulated, at which time any resident or taxpayer of the governmental unit shall have an opportunity to be heard on the proposed budget. I know you asked any questions or comments on the budget. Hearing none, be it resolved by the electors of the Pulaski Community School District that a tax be levied on all taxable property in the amount of $22,452,803 necessary to operate and maintain the school district and fully finance the recommended budget of the 2025-2026 fiscal year. Is there a motion and a second to adopt this resolution?
Pat Fullerton, 339 Ridgehaven Court, Little Swamico. I so move resolution 25-1 as presented.
Thank you. And is there a second?
Sarah Mangle, 4774 Potter's Crossing, and I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed with an nay? We'll go on to resolution 25-2, authorizing the purchase of textbooks. Be it resolved by the electors of the Pulaski Community School District that the school board is authorized to furnish textbooks for use on the school's curriculum. Is there a motion and a second to adopt this resolution? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion. Amy Ullman, 3779 Pine View Drive.
Is there a second?
I'll second it. Dennis Kaminsky, 6540 Allen Road, Savitsky, Wisconsin.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed with a nay? Move on to resolution 25-3, authorizing the board to acquire or lease property or space. Be it resolved by the electors of the Pulaski Community School District that the school board be authorized to acquire or lease property or space required to accommodate district schools and offices. Is there a motion and a second to adopt this resolution? Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Heidi Melzer, 4469 Wyandotte Trail, Hobart, Wisconsin.
Thank you. And do I have a second?
Jenny Gracioni on 1783 South St. Augustine Street.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Resolution 25-4, authorizing and setting school board salaries. This is an open-ended resolution that will need to be completed in order for there to be a motion to set school board salaries. The current salaries are President, $3,550, Clerk, $3,300, and members, $3,050. Is there a motion and a second providing the salaries for school board members?
Motion. Amy Ullman, 3779 Pine View Drive.
And a second?
Patrick Fullerton, I'll second.
Any discussion regarding
We
salaries?
should be providing the salary that you're proposing. So you can propose to keep them the same or propose a different amount.
I propose to keep them as presented.
Mr. Fullerton, was that a second of keeping them as presented?
I will second that.
Any discussion around that point? Sorry. All in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed with a nay? Resolution 25-5, authorizing reimbursement of school board members. Be it resolved by the electors of the Pulaski Community School District that school board members be reimbursed for actual and necessary expenses when traveling or in the performance of duties, and the reimbursement of a school board member for actual loss of earning when duties require the school board member to be absent from regular employment. Is there a motion and a second authorizing reimbursement of school board members? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. Dennis Kaminsky, 6540 Allen Road, Sabisky.
Is there a second?
Jenny Grace Alney, and 1783 South St. Augustine Street.
Thank you. Any discussion on this point? All in favor, please indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed with a nay? Okay, Resolution 25-6, authorizing the board to schedule the 2026 annual meeting. Be it resolved by the electors of the Pulaski Community School District that the school board be authorized to set the date and time of the 2026 annual meeting. Is there a motion and a second to permit the Board of Education to set the date, place, and time for the 2026 annual meeting? A motion?
I make a motion. Josh Colony, N4732 Elm Road.
And a second?
Heidi Bukovich, 600 Blue Heron, Pulaski, 54160.
All in favor, indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed with an nay? Motion passes. Resolution 25-7, authorizing the board to operate a district breakfast and lunch program. Be it resolved by the electors of the Pulaski Community School District that the school board be authorized to operate a district breakfast and lunch program. Is there a motion and a second to authorize operating a breakfast and lunch program? A motion?
Also moved. Sarah Mankel, 4774 Potters Crossing, Pulaski.
Thank you. And a second?
I'll second. Heidi Melzer, 4469 Wyandotte Trail, Hobart.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item? Okay, all in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed with a nay? Resolution 25-8, authorizing the prosecution or defense of legal matters. Be it resolved by the electors of the Pulaski Community School District that the school board be authorized to direct and provide for the prosecution or defense of any action or proceeding in which the school district is interested. Is there a motion and a second to adopt this resolution? A motion?
I'll move. Sarah Mankel.
Thank you. And a second?
Heidi Bukovich, 600 Blue Heron Drive, Pulaski, 54162.
Any discussion on this point? All in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed with a nay? Are there other new items of business provided by law pertaining to the management of the district that this annual meeting wishes to consider? Okay, hearing none. Thank you for your participation in this annual meeting of the electors of the Pulaski Community School District. It has been a pleasure for me to serve as chairperson. Is there a motion and a second to adjourn the annual meeting?
Jenny Grace Alney, and 1783 South St. Augustine Street. I move to adjourn.
Thank you. And a second?
Amy Owen, 3779 Pine View Drive. Second.
All in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.